Let's get ready to large ones. See what I did there with the wordplay?
I did. Yeah.
To large ones.
To large ones.
Yeah. Let's get ready to large ones.
To large ones.
So
To huge ones.
to huge. Oh no, that's the Trump sponsorship there.
All right then, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Two Huge Ones. Today, I am Trump, and then I'm also joined by Trump. Huge.
That's my fucking. That's my Trump impression.
We're just. What is that? Him struggling with his small hands. What?
I want you to take your
Careful.
podcast and turn it into too huge. It's like French.
You're like, I'll be honest, you're like bordering Tropic Thunder right now.
Oh no.
Like-
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna back up from that.
Easy, Stiller.
Oh god, wasn't it
Huge.
Robert Downey Jr. who played the?
Robert Downey Jr. was playing the guy.
Playing the guy, yeah. That is a phenomenal film. It really is.
It is. It really is. Yeah. And the thing is, as well, is like I don't know. I think it was kind of
Sorry.
interesting.
The
So
thing is, as well, I don't know.
No, I was gonna say like the thing is that there was so much unpolitically correct about that film.
Oh yeah.
Like in politically correct, and like a lot of communities didn't know where to start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's so much to choose from. What do you tackle first? It's like
Yeah,
the thing.
What is the biggest problem?
Oh man. Oh, yeah, I never really thought about that, but it's true.
Yeah, because there is a lot of problems with that film.
Yeah.
A lot of problems. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're here with two huge ones.
Yeah. Huge.
I'm Vince. This is Craig.
Hello.
This is a rather bad intro. And Craig, take it away.
All right. Okay. So, sponsorship this week.
Oh, Jesus. Before we've even gotten into a large one. All right,
yeah.
let's go.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
This is a huge one.
This is powering everything, my friend. The people have been in touch.
Okay.
Right. So last week we did Escapism. We actually sponsored Escapism.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an email. I couldn't really work out what it said or what it was. And then whilst I was trying to respond to say, hey, do you mind resending? I got electrified, my friend, and it spoke to me in current. And so
what did it say?
It said that AC is pleased to sponsor this week. AC Power.
Ooh. Are they going to be sponsoring us in like an alternative method, or is it?
They just said put our name up there, you know. That's all they need. So there you go. So AC Power.
AC Power.
Thanks for getting in touch. Are you off the record? Are you an AC or a DC guy?
I prefer Marvel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Marvel Power.
Yeah.
Marvel Power. Marvel Power's the one with the cloaked villain, right?
Yeah.
He's got
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah. Batman. Yeah.
Batman. Yeah.
He Butsmans.
He Butsmans in the side of the head. Clear.
So yeah, thanks for the sponsorship, AC Power. I don't know how DC Power are going to feel about that, but
yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll be shocked, but
yep.
What are they going to do?
Well,
at the end of the day,
this is it. You know,
they can go to ground. Is what they can do.
They can go to ground,
mate. I know they're trying to stay neutral about the whole thing, but they're just going to have to go to ground.
Yeah, mate. There's no need to be so negative about it. You know.
Well, I'm trying to be positive.
Wow. Yeah, cool. So that's our sponsorship for this week. Really excited about that one.
Excellent. Good.
Personally,
Power
I don't know.
good.
yeah, I don't know what else we'd do without the AC power supply.
Yeah.
So just really pleased with it.
AC, of course, big friends with Nikolai.
Mm.
If you don't know who Nikolai is, he's in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. He helps you get into certain areas that are off limits and get you closer to the dude who planned No Russian. So go check out his latest content on Modern Warfare Remaster.
Nice. Good shit.
Yeah. I'm glad that we managed to tie that in. Yeah.
Really pleased.
Really.
He'd be pleased as well.
I'm glad that we managed to get that plug in.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. The old 3-pronged attack.
Yeah. Oh, shit. It's good. That's a good one. I like it.
Thanks, dude. Right. So,
you did well.
Now that we've decharged from all of that bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've brought a large one with me today, and it's from last week.
Wow. Excellent.
And I figured we could just spend the whole huge one talking about it.
It's either from last week or it's from an hour ago, depending on how you're watching this content.
Oh yeah, true. It's true.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What was that? What was that fucking response from you? Just
you know what it was? I think my voice broke and I just rolled with it instead of it going.
Oh my god, you've hit puberty.
It's finally happened.
Fuck, nice dude.
Instead of it being like, oh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I kind of felt the break and I was going to talk like this for the rest of the sentence. Oh yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm the leader.
We'll go when I say
charge. Oh, how conveniently related to our sponsor. Nice. So my large one for this week is about personal projects.
It is.
So this is just any project that you've kind of undertaken
on personally.
So yeah. It's like we're trying to write an essay for school.
We're literally on the Wikipedia page for personal projects.
Personal projects is when you make a project for yourself personally.
The first project was defined in 1820 BC.
The first project ever was by the Higgs boson. Who decided it wanted to create conscious life from nothing. To find what preceded that as a personal project. No one knows. He won't tell. Higgs boson's giving up nothing. So, personal project wise, I've done quite a few over the years. I'm trying to think of the first one I've done now. I didn't really bring that to the table, but
the very first project?
Yeah. Like, what's the very first thing you were like, I could probably do that?
So my question is is it something that you decide? Okay, so this is kind of a big question actually, right? Because is this something that maybe you got pushed into by parents, or is it something that it's you just personally decided to do because you were like, yes, I'm going to do this?
The second one, the latter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you, off your own back, was like, no, I can do this.
I think I actually do know what my first ever real-world personal project was, and I'm pretty sure I was about 9 or 8. Yeah.
Far away.
Far out.
Go ahead.
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. It went very silent then, and I was like, hello?
Well, I said far away, and I think you misheard it as far out.
Yeah, you said far away, and I said far out as a joke, and I was expecting you to be like, okay.
I was expecting you to be like, ha ha ha. But apparently,
no.
Can't bring those to the table. Can't do it.
No more funnies, I'm afraid. Serious podcast
only. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So my first personal development project was undertaken back in 1998. I was actually, if that was the case, I would have been like 6. So it wasn't 1998. It would have been, I don't know. I know I was quite young anyway.
Yeah.
But basically, I had recently been playing. Now, this is going to feed into something that I've already talked about.
Ooh.
I had been playing Command & Conquer as a kid.
Yep.
And I really, really enjoyed the game. I thought it was really cool. And one of the things in the game is called an ion cannon, okay? Which is a satellite in space which fires a giant fuck-off laser onto the ground to just disintegrate anything underneath it.
Is that where the LOIC comes from?
Yes.
No way. I never knew the origins of that. I just thought it was
yes. In fact, that is what it is. That's an ion cannon.
yeah. I thought it was just like an internet DDoSing thing, but
I mean, it also is.
Yeah, well, it still is that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
finding out the origins of the name doesn't negate what the thing is.
yeah, it's still a thing. Yeah. But no, so I'd been playing that, and I really liked the concept of like the ion cannon. I thought it was really cool, and I thought to myself, I want to build an ion cannon, right?
Whoa.
So I set out on it was basically an arts and crafts project to build an ion cannon. Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, it was shockingly shit. But I was so proud of it as my own creation.
Yeah.
It was literally like, it was a cardboard box, right? I had like, do you know like the sort of plastic see-through tubes that you get that hold like hard candies in them?
Yes.
Like, do you know what I mean? And they have, or like sometimes nuts or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had one of them, right? That was on the underside of the box, stuck in place. So you had the box, then you had this underneath it. And that was like the cannon part of it, right?
Oh.
I had managed to put a hole into the bottom of the cannon, and I'd managed to thread a large bit of string that I had through that, all the way through the box, which I was then able to stick onto my ceiling, and then I gave it a couple of wings as well, because they were wings, but actually what they were was solar panels. Right. I just didn't know that that's what they were. I thought they were wings when I was a kid.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I gave them a couple wings as well. So it was this really shitty, shoddy looking like satellite that actually I had hanging from my bedroom roof, right? And it would sway about and stuff because it was on thread.
Yeah.
But I was just super proud of it, and I was like, yeah, there's an ion cannon, it's so cool. And that was when I decided that I wanted to develop military weapons when I was older.
Nice,
which
dude.
never happened.
Oh.
But that's fine, because I went through a series of decisions of what I wanted to do when I was older.
Yeah.
So, and that was right up until I decided that I was going to work in the games industry.
Yeah.
And that one stuck with me. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that was my first ever personal project, and that would have been, I'm trying to think. I think I might have even been in like year 3 or 2.
Yeah.
Which would have made me how old again? So like, nursery is like 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
So nursery, then it was reception, so that's 5. Then it was year 1, which is 6. So actually, it may have been 1998. It genuinely may have been 1998.
Yeah, because I started nursery in like 97, I think. So.
Well, I mean, we're same year, so we would have started at the same time.
Same time.
Even though that I'm like nearly a year older.
So you just riffing away there. I've thought of 2 projects I did whilst I was in school.
Yep.
Super early. One I still have. The other I don't. I think my mum might still have it somewhere, or I kind of threw it out. But I'm gutted I don't have that. Basically, first one, which is actually in my office right now, above my computer. Actually, it's a sword made out of newspaper from 2001. Nice. So it's dated. You can read the date. Which is crazy. The reason I made that sword, I went to my grand's house. I'd been watching a ton of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And it was I can't remember. if this was like a new Dragon Ball Z episode or if it was just reruns. I never knew how it worked kind of when I was young. Everything was new when you were young,
True.
you know. So when you get brought up with like Tom and Jerry, for example, that's just something that's always, you're like, well, that's just new. It's just a new thing. But
I've never seen that before.
yeah.
Even though you probably had.
Yeah, and it's been around for years.
Yeah.
So it's basically like that. So Trunks, it was that kind of era, that saga. He had a giant sword on the back. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna have a giant sword. So I said to my gran, like, I want to make a sword, and she is a super top tier sewer. She used to do it professionally, so she helped me make a sheath made out of like not leather, but like faux leather or some kind of vinyl.
Yeah.
And then we braided a bit of rope as well to make like the so I could actually put it on my back and run around with it and stuff. And then
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's so sick. And then the actual sword's just made of newspaper.
Yeah.
It's super super cool. And it's like one of those things where, you know, it's as a object, it's absolutely worthless, but sentimentally, it's like priceless.
So do you still have that?
Yeah, I got it. I'll show it to you next time you come around.
I don't have my satellite anymore, I'm afraid. I can't share that with you. No. That got binned.
So the one that I don't have, or at least I don't think I have, is in year kind of 5 or 6, me and my friends got into the idea of making comics.
Okay.
So we all started up our own comics. Literally, the entire friend group was like, cool. Even if we couldn't really draw, like at that age, you don't care. You just want to do something, so you do it.
Yeah.
I love that as well, like the innocence of that. Just now you talk yourself out of everything because you don't feel like you've got the confidence or the skills or whatever.
Or the time.
All the time, yeah, especially that. But yeah, back then it was just like, I want to make a comic. So I made a comic called Super Cat and Dirty Dog.
Nice.
It was like a crime-fighting duo. It was either a crime-fighting duo or Dirty Dog was the villain. But I made, it must have been about 8 to 12 of these things.
Yeah.
All on like A4 paper. Each comic lasted like 2 sides, I think. And yeah, it was just really cool. That was my first kind of art project, really.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, and that was something I used to do at lunch. Like, no one asked me to do it. It was just something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of...
So I think after that, like the first actual sort of project I took on, I don't know. So here's the thing, like there are things that I did, but I don't know if I can consider them really like projects. But okay, so like I did stuff like back in the day, there used to be tools to create maps on video games and stuff like that, but they were proper tools, right?
Yeah.
They weren't meant as a part of the game where you have fun, like Mario Maker or Halo Forge mode, right? They were they were legitimately, these are tools for you to make more maps or levels or whatever. And I used to just make a bunch of stuff to the point where I even started to understand like basic computer logic. Because, in order to trigger certain events, if I wanted to create like a single player campaign mode, I would need to figure out, okay, when this object is here, then this. Although if it has, half health, then do this, that sort of thing.
Oh, wow. The only experience I've got is that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater map maker.
Yeah.
I was trying to equivalent it to that, and then I was like, oh, wait, no, this is different.
Hell yeah. No, so these were for like RTS games.
Right.
So it was like they were straight up full on tools. So the two that I had, it was one I did for like the original Red Alert games, and that was map making. But then I also did map making for it was a game called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds.
Okay.
Which was also sort of an RTS Star Wars game. It was based off of like Age of Empires, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really good, and I learned that sort of stuff. But I don't know if I could count that as a project per se.
That's just like getting really lost in the in the game and like the tools you've been given to
Yeah,
explore
so
it.
that's what I was thinking. Is it's like that? I guess like the next proper like project that I started doing was actually my YouTube. The Sheep
Ah,
Know Things.
yeah.
And now
Was the
this
Hacker
might
Show before
shock you.
that?
No, Hack Show was after that.
Uh-huh.
So the Sheep Know Things was the first thing that started in year 7.
Whoa.
And I'll be honest. So the first video I ever created, I don't think is on there anymore. So the video that is on there at the moment, there's the first video on there,
Yeah.
is the Dragon Ball Z Grandma rap. That was like my third or fourth video, I think. Right?
Man, I've watched that so many times.
The thing is, that's not me rapping.
I know.
That's not my that's not my show, right? I literally just took this rap that I saw a blogger make and was like, lol, I'm going to add it to Dragon Ball Z for some reason. I don't even know why I decided Dragon Ball Z. I was just like, haha, this would be funny.
Yeah.
And just did it. And then it just got a bunch of views as well. I was like, nice, dude.
Nice.
Excellent. I mean, that wasn't my reaction at the time. At the time, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know. But no, like I had some videos on there which I kind of wish I still had, just so that I could watch them and sort of laugh,
Yeah.
cringe, but also reminisce and remember how far I've come. Because I like so one of the I'm now going to describe 2 of these videos, right? For you,
you're tuned into the Sheep Know Things audio blog, where I
Yeah.
describe videos that don't exist anymore, and you
Right,
use your own
so-
imagination.
do you know the Final Fantasy VII movie, Advent Children?
I actually don't.
You actually don't. Okay,
I
well
actually
they did.
don't.
They did a movie of Final Fantasy VII. It was Advent Children.
Right.
It was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. In fact, I might even put it on our movie list for
Ooh.
movie night.
Nice.
But anyway, that came out. It was great. I watched it. I loved it. And I thought to myself, you know, it could be funny, right? If I redid the audio for it, right?
Yeah.
So it was literally just me redoing the audio for the film, but it wasn't like me redoing the audio like I was downloading Foley and stuff. No. I was just making all the noises myself. So, like, if there was a sword, it'd be like, swing, like this. Like, and at one point, there's, like, a motorbike scene where, like, the motorbike's going by and it, like, goes past the camera. And it's me just there, like, like that. But then when the characters are talking as well, it was so stupid because there was no coherent thought between them or anything.
Right.
It was just I was just saying stuff.
What?
So like one of the characters would be like, Starburst, like shit like that.
No.
It was so fucking bad,
I
dude.
can't believe you don't have that to share.
I really wish I did. I genuinely wish I did, just so that I could go back and watch it and be like, nice one. And then I had another one. It was like, it was. Do you know what machinimas are?
Yes, I do.
It was supposed to be like a. It wasn't supposed to be shitty, but it was supposed to be a shitty machinima like copy. But it was using like Dawn of War, which is an RTS game, and it was supposed to be like the day in the life of Borealis or something like that. And it was like using one of the characters from that and zooming in on him, and he would be talking.
Right.
But I chose like some music. I think I chose the Friends theme to be like the intro to it, to like this grim dark future. But then it was like a soap opera. It was so bad.
That's weird as hell.
It was so bad, but like, yeah, those were just like some of the things that I did and uploaded randomly. But if I hadn't have done them, I wouldn't have kept doing them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
So I really wish I still had them so I could go back and look and be like, man.
Yeah,
Remember the difference.
Remember the days. So if someone was going to go on your YouTube channel now, what stuff would you want them to check out? The Sheep Know Things one. What's like?
In all honesty, the things that I would want people to check out the most, probably going to be things like the cystic fibrosis mini doc.
Yeah.
The Bossa Studios Chicken Nugget Challenge.
Yeah.
And there are probably a couple of others on there that I'm forgetting, but in all honesty, a lot of the videos on the Sheep Know Things they're just high quality or sometimes low quality, normally low quality shit posts.
Yeah.
It's like I have a concept, I have like a thought bug in my head that I need to get out, and I just need to get this thing done so that I can stop thinking about it,
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's almost like a visual diary entry that you're making. Like you've got this idea in your head, like you just said, and the way it's just like an outlet for you to be like, I did a thing because I thought about a thing, and now it exists on this channel.
Yes. Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, it's not like a classic diary and this is a blog or whatever, or this is what my day was like. It's more like a case of I just had an idea, I just wanted to do the idea, I uploaded the idea, and now it's there for not just other people to watch, but more importantly for me to be able to go back and look at, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because more than anything, if I didn't put it up and just out there and it just existed, right, then even if I did it, I wouldn't be that satisfied with it. Because I could just do it and then never do anything with it.
Right.
But anytime I've had something like that, I always then have regrets that I just didn't put it out there. And the main reason I have those regrets is like, it's a case of I wouldn't know if people would be interested in this or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to know unless you just do it, right? So just getting it out there is infinitely better than not getting it out there.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
But that's sort of that. But then, I mean, other than that, I can say that like the next sort of big projects I had were things like the Hacker Show and my gaming channel, my Twitch channel. I'll be honest, I sort of started taking on a lot of personal projects from early high school.
Yeah.
Very early high school. Started taking on a lot of personal projects just because I just sort of realized that personal projects were just sort of fun, and at the same time, whilst it was a form of escapism, tying into last week.
Yeah.
They were fun, and it was just a good way for me to sort of learn as well. Because anytime I did a project, I'd just be learning something, right?
That's true, yeah.
Learning or refining as well is another thing, right? Because I may not need to learn something, but I could refine it, and I could figure out how to do something better.
Yeah, very true. I mean, that's where I learnt, what do they say, like cut your teeth type of thing? Or learnt your chops.
Cut your teeth?
Yeah, cut your teeth, mate.
Mate, I will cut your teeth if you keep talking these large ones.
I'm sure that's a saying. Cut your teeth. I'm Googling that because
I don't think
acquire
it's a saying.
Initial practice or experience of a particular sphere of activity.
Who has ever said, I want to cut my fucking teeth? Like, unless you're like one of these insane rappers that's like, yeah, I'm going to cut my teeth so they look like fangs from like proper, like... Also, yeah, that's me like throwing shade at some specific rappers. You know who you are.
That's so bizarre. Yeah, I don't know why. I think I must have heard that subconsciously in a documentary or something.
Yeah.
They first cut their teeth doing this.
Good save.
yeah. I don't use that all the time, I swear. So,
honest.
But yeah, but the point was going to be that most of the stuff that I do now, either professionally or otherwise, I learned by doing personal projects. So like, I decided I wanted to be a graphic designer because I was interested in it so much. I used to do it outside of school, and it'd just be like, I don't know, my brother would take a photo or something, and then I'd want to edit it, even though he didn't ask. I'd be like, oh, that'd be cool to like edit that in some way, and there was never like an end plan. Oh, I want it to look like this. It was back in those days. It was more, what can I?
Let's just see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's just use this program and see where I end up. Which is really cool, actually. I've not done that in a very long time, but I feel like that's a really cool exercise to do. Just pick a thing and just kind of run away.
You've actually just given me a great like, so on the same sort of lines, right? So like, okay, so companies have game jams, right?
Yeah.
Or games companies have game jams where you just spend a day or whatever, dedicated time, and it's just a case of, you're given like a theme or a concept or an idea, and it's just make something around that. That's a game, right?
Yeah.
Like, we could totally set something up where it's like, it's just a content jam,
Oh,
right?
right. Yeah.
And it's like, you could just give people a generic theme and just be like, this week the theme is day night, right? Day night cycle or something like that, right? Or the day and night, or you could say like, I don't know, mythology or just anything, right? You could take any theme and just say, okay, cool, just go away and make some content based around that. You have 2 days, we're all going to regroup and see what everyone made.
And the vagueness of that would have much, much better and varied results than quite specific ones.
That's actually such a fucking cool idea, dude. I actually think I might employ that as something that I start doing. Like, I may actually just see if people would be interested in doing that in general. Just like put the word out there and be like, hey, I'm going to be doing this just because I want to do some more creative stuff.
Yeah.
If there are any other creatives out there who want to join in, let's fucking go, dude. And it can be any content as well. That's the beauty of a content jam, right?
I know.
So they could make a game, or it could be like,
a poem.
It could be a poem, it could be a really nice photo, it could be a video. Hell, it could even be a dedicated, like, live stream.
Yeah.
Right? You could do a dedicated live stream around that theme. It could be it could literally be anything.
It literally could, yeah.
Oh, man, that's actually kind of got the creative juices flowing. I love that idea. That's so good.
So I did one of these last year, actually. Kind of October.
What, a content jam?
No, not content jam.
Oh,
jam.
Okay.
It was a photography challenge set by my friend Micah. We went out into London, and he came with 2 themes for the day. So one was a splash of color, but otherwise monochrome.
Okay.
And
that's pretty fucking cool as a concept.
Yeah. And
I already have ideas. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
I love it. You're like so fucking amped right now.
I am, dude. That's so sick.
You're like, just let me finish the podcast so I can do stuff.
Content overload.
So one of them was that, and then the other one was take a photo that you're going to crop into, and it has to be either super, super long and thin or super, super tall and thin. So it changes the way we walked around London. We weren't just walking around and like, oh, it's a day out and we're taking photos. I was looking so specifically for things that I could edit as monochrome, or things with one color in the, in the photo and stuff. Or so the other one, I was kind of looking at stairways and thinking I could crop that so it's super long and thin, or it was just really, really cool. Such a different way to live your life, like walking around with 2 very specific ideas in mind. And it was like that kind of sense of freedom as well, because you've got those parameters. You're not it actually helps in a way. So if you go out and you're just like, yeah, we're going out to take some photos and I hope I get some good ones.
Then you can just kind of be like, I got some decent ones, but because there's no muse there, right? There's no inspiration.
Yeah,
you're just sort of doing it.
There's no like theme in mind. There's no concept in mind. And when we share the photos amongst each other, there'll be cool photos, guaranteed. But they'll just be cool photos. It won't be like it won't be with that theme in mind or with those parameters. So
and once you've got that sort of theme in mind, and then you will look at the photos, you can look at everyone's work and sort of see what their thought process was to a degree and how they reached doing that.
True. Yeah. Exactly. So it's it's super fun. But
oh fuck, man!
But we're planning to do that again once the lockdown is over. Kind of photo trip out again. I'm looking forward to that.
That's very cool.
Other personal projects I've done. I'm trying to think. So I've done I mean they're all mainly design. so I can rattle off a couple of those. So on the kind of
Go
photography
on.
note, I know we briefly spoke about the tube thing I did.
Yep.
That was just like an off the cuff challenge. That was set by a YouTuber called Jeff Marshall. Link in the description. And it was a challenge to visit every tube station. You didn't need to make a project out of it, but that was my kind of idea. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to go to every tube station, I might as well make something out of that. So I turned it into an excuse to take photos. So that was quite cool. And then also tube related, in Illustrator, I kind of reproduced a map, a lost tube map. So a bit of tube history. The famous tube map that everyone's kind of familiar with, or at least the one that we use today.
That TFO actually uses.
Yeah, it's based on one that Harry Beck did, who was a electrical draftsman, I think.
Yeah.
Or engineering draftsman, one of those. Began with E.
No, you're correct.
So he redesigned the tube map, and then there's like a huge history behind that. But it was the last tube map that he made in 1961, I think. And basically he submitted it to the new director of art and design. I can't remember. Oh, it was something like Hutchinson or something. But he was like, no, I don't like it because I'm doing my own map. So he put out his own map, and he'd redesigned the one that everyone was really now familiar with, and everyone hated it. So they changed it back a couple of years later to something else. But the one that Harry Beck did, his last one, they never used it. And it's so cool. And it would actually, if they did use it, our tube map today would be different because of the way the Victoria line was added in and all sorts of weird and wonderful kind of things that he did. So first time I ever saw that map, I was like, whoa, that's nice. I want to see if there's a high quality version of that, to which there wasn't. And I was like, well, I have the ability to make one. So I just...
You have the power.
You have the power. I just don't want to spend a lot of money. So that's what I did. In Illustrator, I just recreated his map. I have also, since doing that, I went to a talk about tube maps by... I'm going to forget that guy's name as well. I'm just going to forget his name, pretend he doesn't have one. So I went to a tube map talk, and this guy is a psychology professor, but his passion is in graphic design and in maps and transport maps in general, all across the world, not just like specific to one region. And he designs his own tube maps and stuff, and he also does exactly what I did. He reimagines old drawings of tube maps, and he reproduces ones that kind of don't exist in high quality as well. So I got into a chat with him, and I was like, have you ever seen Harry Beck's last map? And he was like, yeah, I've actually done one. And I was like, oh, no way. I've actually done one as well. And he asked me such a specific question. Like, when you get into conversation with someone who is talking the same language as you, it's just so cool.
It really is.
You're immediately in the rabbit hole. He said, he goes, did you reproduce the mistakes or not? And I was like, I did, yeah. And he was like, that's really cool, because I didn't. I corrected them. So my one is like how it would have been drafted up to scale. And my version, his version was that one, the corrected version.
Yeah.
So everything's at even 90 degrees or 45 degree angles, and all of the kind of icons are the same height and width and stuff. My one didn't do that.
Yeah.
It was a recreation of his draft copy of it. So there's
just
bits in there
quality,
which are weird. And he was like, oh, that's so cool that you've done like the other version, basically. And I was like, hells yeah.
Did you get his number?
I've got his email address and stuff, and
Nice.
I'm on his newsletter. He sends one like every. Oh, his name's Robert Maxwell. I've just remembered it. Yeah, he sends around Tube. It's like Tube Map Monthly Central something. But it's like transport maps for nerds basically. It's very
makes
niche.
Sense. Yeah.
That's very niche.
Oh dear. And what? So this was for London Underground, right?
No, this wasn't for anyone. This is just for me.
No, as in like the maps were London Underground maps. Sorry.
Well, obviously, dummy. We're talking about personal projects because it's not for anyone. Yes. Sorry, I misread your question. Yes, London Underground.
London Underground tubes, and they run off of electric, right?
I think they might do.
Well, this might be a great time to give a big shout out.
Big shout out
to AC/DC, our #1 power supplier. Stairway to Heaven, great single.
Love that band.
Absolutely love them. Absolutely.
I've seen him live.
What? Led Zeppelin?
Stairway to Heaven.
Really?
Yeah. I spoke to him as well.
I didn't actually know that you had. You spoke to, what did you say?
I just said, hey man, really cool. And he went,
Sounds like it was an in-depth conversation.
Yeah. He was like, I said, yeah, do you remember me? And he went, yeah. What?
Don't want to say anything, mate. You do you. I think
you're just mad that I met such a famous guy and he knew who I was and he remembered me and he knew everything about my life. And
I'm sure that is exactly what happened. So thank you to our sponsor. If you're out there, send Craig an email. I'm sure he would love it.
Yeah.
If you got
Please
back in
return
touch.
my emails.
Yeah, he's been sending them daily since, and those 3,000 emails have gone unreceived. So if you could send us one,
a bounce back every time.
No read receipts. It's weird. No read receipts.
Yeah. Oh, I hate read receipts. Please.
Oh, I actually fucking I had to turn off read receipts on Skype because we use it for work, and it's just I had to turn it off for my own sanity on the basis that I hate seeing that somebody has seen my message, but I've just not received a response, and I'm just like, why haven't I received a response yet? What was wrong with what I said that you need 30 minutes to respond to me, right? So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm turning them off. I don't want to know if they've seen them or not. Just inform me when they've gotten back in touch.
Yeah. I hate them. And on emails especially, it just feels passive-aggressive from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell someone you've read their email, or do you want to click no? Well, doesn't no still send you one saying they've clicked no? I mean,
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I can't win.
It does. Yeah, it's sort of a dead man's trigger, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just don't win either way.
Yeah, it's so true.
Ugh, God, fucking read receipts. It's like you get them on WhatsApp and shit as well, right? And you just get You just get left on red. It's like nice.
Left on the old double tick.
Oh my God, the old double blue.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fucking hell.
The old blues, nah.
Yeah, the old blues, nah. Leave it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so big shout out to Electric Power for making all of those anxieties come true.
Yes, thank
you. Back to personal projects, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think, obviously, there's one very obvious personal project that we can talk about.
Oh.
We've been sponsoring them for weeks.
Yep.
They're pretty big, we can say.
They are pretty big.
It is, of course.
They're huge.
2 huge ones.
Two huge.
Huge. 2 large ones.
2 large ones.
So
2 large ones.
This is a personal project, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, this was born out of sheer why not isms.
Actually true. True.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get more like doesn't need to be a thing than a shitty
And then a
podcast, right?
podcast, yeah. It's true. Like one of the few things that the world didn't need more of is podcasts. Podcasts and mosquitoes are the two things
Yeah.
that the world can do without because they have the same effect on people. They make them fucking sick to their stomach.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, we're here propagating that.
I know.
But I mean, you know, it was literally just a case of I literally just dropped you a line. I was like, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast?"
True.
And then you're like, "Sure."
Yeah, it was.
That was it.
It was quite as simple as like some ideas you talk about, and you're like, I've got an idea, and this is a thing, and you know, once I've got all the things in place, I'll be back in touch, and like it could happen, it could not happen, but
Yeah.
this was one of those projects which was the opposite. It was, I've had an idea. Here's the idea. When are you free to just do this thing? And I was like, I think tomorrow. Cool, tomorrow it is. I'll see you tomorrow. And it was like
Yeah.
I nearly said wunged instead of winged it. It's like
is that the past tense
Yeah.
of winged it? Wunged.
You wung, absolutely.
It was so
wunged
wunged.
it, mate.
Absolutely wunged. Yes, I'm gonna use that from now on. Just like, it was just wunged. That's it. The whole scenario wunged.
See, like, if you can use winged, then you would. But if you can't, if you've backed yourself into a corner grammatically, wung is fine.
Listen, you can't be grammatically incorrect if you design a new word, right?
I like that.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
And anyone who's like, oh, it's a made-up word. Yeah, all words are made up. That's how fucking language works. Like, welcome. Congrats.
Yeah, the fact you're even understanding what I'm saying is just years and years and years of tolerance, really.
Yeah, years and years of people just fucking making shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, as a society, we've come to accept that certain things which didn't exist before now hold some kind of value, like language and colours. And
I mean, you think about it.
Money.
Language was probably a personal project, right? You think about it, right?
I need to understand what this guy's saying. We're going to need to...
Who's getting paid to invent the English language? No one.
No one's
right?
getting paid.
It was a fucking personal project that went too far.
Way too far. It's still ongoing. It's like a never-ending art piece.
Yeah, like
Wong is just the latest edition. Who's getting paid to watch The Simpsons now?
Exactly. It's a personal project.
No one is.
It's a fucking project to watch The Simpsons these days.
Yeah, you have to take time out of your day. You have to. You have to really
mentally
really
brace.
It,
Yeah. You have to be in an emotionally really good spot and have a counsellor nearby.
I'm going to talk about the last personal project that I thought was like really cool that I did.
Okay.
So,
I will hear you.
I will let you talk.
Yeah.
So I played drums.
Right.
And I've owned the same drum kit since I was 12 or 13. I was in year 7 when I got it, and I paid.
Yeah, that was like 30 years ago, right?
It was fucking. It was yeah. It was a long, huge time ago.
Huge.
So yeah. So this kit cost my parents like 200 quid, I think, and it was a starter kit. Like, when I say that, I mean. It's got a brand, but it's the kind of brand that you want to debadge because you're embarrassed to play the brand.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, okay.
Good for you, mate. You got Adidas, do you? Not Nike's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
So, yeah, I just didn't really like the kit. I got back into drumming kind of beginning of last year, and I had the decision of do I keep? I mean, I still had the drum kit. It's in completely fine condition.
Still works.
Still works, you know.
Still smack it.
And I had the decision of I can either buy a new drum kit now that I'm a bit older and I can afford to do it, or I can just keep it because fundamentally all drum kits are the same.
Okay.
On a base level, it's
Yep.
just a bunch of wooden shells covered in stuff, and you put a badge on it, and the badge is what costs the money.
Yeah.
As long as you've got really good drum heads and skins and cymbals, and you do your practice, you can't tell. It's the same
Yeah.
reason why an excellent guitar player or an excellent piano player will sit down at the worst version of that instrument and absolutely destroy it.
Still kill it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it still does come down to your skill at the end of the day.
Yes. In fact, you know what? Based on that, I'm going to link below a video of Dave Grohl playing a child's drum kit. And it's unbelievable. I've never been able to sound that good.
Sounds amazing.
Like on a normal one. It's so good. So
I'm actually gonna watch it as well.
So yeah, with that in mind, I was like, cool. I'm gonna research how to repaint my drum kit basically, and I'm gonna have the drum kit that I've always wanted, but I'm not gonna pay over the odds for it. And that's literally what I did. So I spent about a month kind of, I don't know, it's weird. I've never done anything personal project related which was that DIY before.
Yep.
And bearing in mind, it's the only drum kit I had, it was a bit like, oh God, if this goes wrong, like, I just don't have a drum kit. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, I was just confident enough that it'd work out fine. And it did. I'm well pleased with it.
It did? Wow.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
Oh, it did. Nice.
And yeah, I just thought that was like a cool little thing. I don't do many DIY projects, and most of the ones that I have tried to do have gone real bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You've just reminded me of something that I can definitely talk about.
Oh.
which was a DIY project.
Nice.
It was for a video, but I had to make something for the video. Okay.
Right.
So this was for the Hacker Show.
Yeah.
Right. And what I wanted to make. So, are you aware what a lag switch is?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone at home who doesn't know what a lag switch is, a lag switch is essentially a device that will temporarily cut your connection to the internet. And if you are, say, the host of a video game, meaning that you are the one creating the lobby for the video game, so other people are connecting to you, when you disconnect momentarily, you still get to do stuff in the game lobby, but other people don't, which basically gives you an unfair advantage, right?
Yes.
You can run around and kill people, and they literally can't do anything to stop you.
Yeah.
So I had found online a design for a lag switch which was based off of the wireless adapter for the Xbox 360. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to build this lag switch into the back of my gamepad controller, right? Because the design that I had found was, it was literally a really basic flick switch like you would see, like, you know those shitty metal switches that you straight up see in, like, you know, old airplane cockpits sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Ones where you proper have to flick it like
Yeah.
in order to get it to do anything. That was what the design was. So I wanted to build one that was built into the back of the controller. And I ended up having to take apart an Xbox controller, drill some extra holes in. I put a push to contact button in the back of my controller, and then I wired everything up correctly. Although it was an absolute nightmare because the first button I got didn't work. Okay, it was broken. And when I tried taking it back to Maplin to be like, hey, this button you gave me doesn't work, they were like, oh, we don't refund things that are 79 pence or less. And I was like, I don't care. I want another button and I'm not paying for it. I was being a real fucking hard ass about it.
Wow.
Because I was pissed off, right? And the reason I was pissed off is because I had already put the button into the controller.
Oh, I see. Right.
Right? And then it didn't work, and I was like, are you shitting me? So I had to, like, then get it back out of the controller, and then redo everything. But I eventually got another button, put it in there, it worked. I was able to glue that up quite nicely, and it actually functioned incredibly well. It was a little bit janky because I ran out of willpower towards the end, and I just used duct tape rather than glue. But it actually genuinely worked, and it worked really well. And that was like one of the physical projects that I've done. Like, I'll be honest, most of my projects have been digital.
Yeah.
Like content related sort of thing. I kind of want to say maybe building my computer counts as a personal project, because I built that from scratch, the ground up myself. But
yeah, and I suppose like that would have taken a lot of research, and like other projects.
Yeah, so the main thing that took up time there was research.
Yeah.
Research, buying the parts, getting them all in, and then I built the whole thing in 2 hours tops. Absolute tops.
Nice.
But I just I mean, there's that, but I don't really count that as a personal project, because that's just something I do to help maintain my techers. I don't that's not me like, oh my god, look at this sick build I just made. No, I'm just building it because I need a good computer.
Sick build, bro.
I'm not trying to be out here flexing. I actually see people who build computer rigs and they're like, yeah, sick build, and I'm like, it's a computer. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on anyone actually, but if they do that, it's just, I don't know. I don't really see it as a personal project, but that's, I guess, just my perception on things.
I know what you mean. There's something quite therapeutic about doing all that stuff, because I've done the same thing. Like, I originally ordered my computer online, and it was kind of built for me, but then when I changed the case, I had to dismantle everything and start back up from scratch. So I had to do all the same research and the same preparation and stuff. But after you hit the button, it's like Frankenstein's monster. You're like, oh, it's alive!
It lives!
So good.
Yeah. Although, actually, I have just thought of another genuine project that isn't necessarily, content related that I did, and it was back in college.
Ooh.
And this is an alleged project, because I may not have actually done it, and I may just be talking this up for the content of the show.
Right.
Because I would never do anything illegal, okay?
No.
And this isn't an admission of guilt, and it shouldn't be treated as such legally, because this show is satire.
Exactly.
However, in college, theoretically, I may have taken a fantastic version of Minecraft from back in the day that was already cracked, but it was built in a way where it was cracked but only for one machine, and I may have made it portable.
In theory.
So that, in theory, allegedly, I would never actually do this. This is just for the content of the show. However...
allegedly.
I might have allegedly, for the content of this show, because it's satire, have taken this cracked version of Minecraft, made it portable, so that anyone could have it on their USB sticks and just play at any college computer. Then I had to update it allegedly, because theoretically, the IT technicians for the college banned the image process from the machines. So I had to find a way to get the image process randomized so they couldn't ban the image process anymore. So
hypothetically,
I theoretically did that. And then eventually they may have decided, this is all theoretically, of course, that you can't play Minecraft if Java's not installed.
Right.
That was a great concept. However, I may have allegedly rebuilt it with a pre-packed Java in it as well, so it would always work.
In theory, that sounds great. That sounds like it worked. It would work.
In theory, that sounds like it would have been distributed to a lot of people in college.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know, they all may have played it. But that didn't happen because this is just content for the show.
Yeah.
And that isn't a legal admission of guilt, and if you treat it as such, I will see you in court.
I don't remember any of that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you were in college, and you don't remember any of it. I certainly don't remember any of that. And, you know...
I can't recall.
Don't look... I cannot recall.
I cannot recall.
And... yeah, that was a fantastic project, and that as well, I should add, was done under an alias, which later then got picked up allegedly by the IT technicians for having installed Windows on a Mac. And now I wouldn't have had anything to do with that.
No.
But if I did, it would have been under the same alias, but it wasn't, so I didn't.
All brought to you by the power of AC.
So thank you very much, AC, for brightening our world. You've allowed us to do many things, such as pirate music illegally, crack video games, watch pornography. It's all really just the top tier shelves of humanity.
What an evening that sounds like.
Oh, God. And I think... on that bombshell, that's probably everything, right?
That is everything. That's all of it.
That is.
We've covered everything.
All of the. I mean, it's not all of the personal projects, but we're not going to sit here and literally talk about all of them. That would be the longest episode of two huge ones.
It really would. Yeah. It's not going to happen. Huge.
It's never going to happen. It's absolutely never going to happen. And then you just fucking hard cut to episode 169. Where it's like we talk about all of our personal projects until we fall asleep or something.
Or the next episode will be in 15, 16 years' time when we've come out of prison for allegedly pirating video games.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be going to prison. I've not done anything illegal.
No.
Everything on this show is satire. Nothing should be believed, and don't trust the government. So that just about wraps everything up. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Man, my God.
Shit, I gotta
God's
wipe
gonna
the hard
punish me
drives
for that last comment.
Wipe the hard drives.